So here they are. 20,000 documents from Jeffrey Epstein's estate have been released for all to see, and we've been through them. They feature Donald Trump, the former Prince Andrew, Peter Mandelson, and of course Epstein's girlfriend and co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, along with many other people. Here's a deep dive into Epstein's world. Let's begin with Donald Trump. The emails relating to him span about a decade, up until just before Epstein's death in jail in 2019. It's important to stress that there are no emails from or to Donald Trump. They're all from Epstein to others. They give a remarkable new insight. Epstein claiming a closeness with Trump, who, remember, is on record as saying he disassociated himself with Epstein years earlier, in the early 2000s. Let's begin in 2011, 5 years before Trump was elected president for the first time. I want to show you this one, from Jeffrey Epstein to his girlfriend and co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell in April 2011. It was written not long after he'd been released from house arrest for having solicited prostitution from a minor, and he was trying to rebuild his reputation. Epstein says to Maxwell, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Virginia spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there." Now, Virginia is Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's victims and the woman in that now infamous photo with Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. We'll come to him later because there are new emails between Andrew and Epstein. Now, Giuffre, who took her own life earlier this year, never accused Trump of any wrongdoing, but Epstein is alleging that Trump and she spent hours together at Epstein's house. The White House has hit back. Listen briefly to Trump's press secretary on this.
Ms. Giuffre maintained, and God rest her soul, that she maintained that there was nothing inappropriate she ever witnessed, that President Trump was always extremely professional and friendly to her.
Now, as the years pass, the tone of the emails evolves. We get a glimpse into how the nature of the relationship, from Epstein's perspective, appears to have changed. How Epstein began to believe that he had a hold over Trump. These were the years leading up to Trump's election victory in 2016. Now, December 2015, this is just under a year before Trump won the 2016 election, and he is gaining momentum as a candidate. On the 12th of December 2015, Epstein sent this email to a reporter from the New York Times. Subject line, Trump. "Have them ask my houseman about Donald almost walking into the door, leaving his noseprint on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused he walked straight into the door." It's not clear when Epstein was alleging that incident had happened, but the email suggests two things. First, a hint at the close association between Epstein and Trump, historically at least, and second, that Epstein is seeking at this point to discredit Trump. In the same email exchange with the reporter, Epstein says, "Would you like photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen?" Now, as time passes, towards the cusp of Trump winning the White House in 2016, we get a new perspective on what Epstein was thinking and writing about Trump while he was on the rise to the presidency. There are swathes of emails between Epstein and the writer Michael Wolff. They detail how Epstein was being advised how he could use his relationship with Trump to his own benefit. Look at this one from Michael Wolff to Epstein in December 2015. Subject, heads up. Wolff writes about Trump, "If he says he hadn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or, if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt." And then Michael Wolff again to Epstein in October 2016, just before the presidential election. He suggests Epstein could finish Trump. Subject line, "Now could be the time." Wolff writes, "There is an opportunity to come forward this week and talk about Trump in such a way that could garner you great sympathy and help finish him. Interested?" Trump wins the election in November 2016. Look at this. Was Epstein in Trump Tower just days after? On the 13th of November 2016, a woman called Linda Stone asks Epstein, "You still in Paris?" Half an hour later, he replies, "Trump Tower." It's not clear who, if anyone, he was meeting at Trump Tower. If he was actually there, there are public areas within the building. Remember, Trump says he cut ties with Epstein many years earlier. We asked the White House if Jeffrey Epstein was in Trump Tower on that date. In response, White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson said, "These emails prove literally nothing." Epstein continues to write about and ridicule Trump during his first term in office. Take this from Epstein to Larry Summers in 2017. Summers was Treasury Secretary under Bill Clinton. Epstein writes, "Your world does not understand how dumb he really is. He will blame everyone around him for bad results." Remember, we don't know the full context of these emails. Here's another from March 2018. And in this case, the name of the person emailing Epstein has been redacted. The anonymous person says, "It will all blow over. They're really just trying to take down Trump and doing whatever they can to do that." Epstein replies, "Yes, thanks. It's wild, because I am the one able to take him down." Now, this email has caught a lot of attention. It's from January 2019, in the middle of Trump's first term as president. It's about membership at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Florida. Redacted worked at Mar-a-Lago. She was the one that accused Prince Andrew, Epstein wrote. Trump said, "He asked me to resign. Never remember, ever." Of course, he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop. So what does all this mean? Well, the redacted name is Virginia Giuffre. We know that she worked at Mar-a-Lago, and she is the woman who accused Prince Andrew. The meaning isn't quite clear. We don't know precisely what Epstein is claiming when he says Trump knew about the girls. In response to the release of the documents, the White House said the fact remains that President Trump kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his club decades ago for being a creep to his female employees, including Giuffre. Remember, too, that Trump is on record as saying that he cut his relationship with Epstein because he thought he was poaching his female employees.
We took people that worked for me, and I told him don't do it anymore, and he did it. And I said, stay the hell out of here.
Now let's focus on the man formerly known as Prince Andrew. In his infamous Newsnight interview in November 2019, Andrew claimed that after he and Epstein met in New York in 2010, he was never in contact with him. But these emails between the pair are from the following year, March 2011. Remember, this is the time just after Epstein had been released from house arrest for having solicited prostitution from a minor. 3 months earlier, that now infamous photo of Epstein and Andrew was taken in New York's Central Park. Andrew's involvement with Epstein was headlined globally, and we now have an insight into Andrew's state of mind at the time. The email chain includes startling allegations. The Mail on Sunday had emailed asking for responses to their story, which alleged sordid sexual encounters involving Andrew, Maxwell, the former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, and others. We've asked Mr. Barak for a response to the mention of his name. The emails get forwarded a few times, including from Ghislaine Maxwell to Epstein, and then from Epstein to an account labelled The Duke. Andrew appears to reply, "What? I don't know any of this. How are you responding?" Epstein replies, and it's full of typos. "Just got it 2 minutes ago. I asked lawyers to send a letter. Not sure. It is so salacious and ridiculous. I'm not sure how to respond. The only person she didn't have sex with was Elvis." The subject title of this email is Ghislaine Maxwell. Then Andrew says, "Please make sure that every statement or legal letter states clearly that I am not involved and that I knew and know nothing about any of these allegations. I can't take any more of this, my end." Later that same year, 2011, emails show that Epstein was talking about Prince Andrew. He says Buckingham Palace would love it if Virginia Giuffre was proven to be a liar. Epstein emails a publicist. "I think a great opportunity has arisen." He goes on, "The girl who accused Prince Andrew can easily be proven to be a liar. I think Buckingham Palace would love it. You should task someone to investigate the girl that has caused the Queen's son all this aggro. I promise you, she is a fraud. You and I will be able to go to Ascot for the rest of our lives." But in trying to discredit Virginia Giuffre, Epstein appears to confirm that the photo of her with Andrew is real. Andrew has previously claimed that the photo could have been doctored. "Yes, she was on my plane, and yes, she had her picture taken with Andrew, as many of my employees have. I have never misled you. This girl is a total liar." Let's skip forward now to January 2015. Epstein and Maxwell appearing to be in private brainstorming responses to each other to a legal and media storm. They're firefighting, and the email exchanges are written in haste. Maxwell to Epstein, the 10th of January 2015. I have to distance myself from you in statement 2, and they need me to say I was not aware of massage with Andrew in my house. These things, they have to stay, along with meeting, redacted, and rebutting these allegations. I need it ASAP. Finally, look at this. When President Trump was on a state visit to the UK in 2019, Steve Bannon is emailing Epstein. Bannon, remember, is the former White House strategist fired by Trump earlier in his first term. He and Epstein are commenting on Trump's physical proximity to Andrew in video of the state visit. Prince Andrew and Trump today. Too funny, Epstein wrote. Then, recall Prince Andrew's accuser came out of Mar-a-Lago. Bannon replied, I can't believe nobody is making you the connective tissue. This is just days before Epstein's final arrest. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor continues to face scrutiny over his friendship with Epstein, but has always vigorously denied all of the accusations against him in relation to the deceased paedophile. Now, Peter Mandelson. He is the man who lost his job as UK ambassador here in Washington because of his links with Epstein, revealed in a previous tranche of documents. We now know that he had contact with Epstein as late as 2016, according to these new emails. This is much later than known before now. Previously released emails show they maintained contact until 2010. A direct exchange between Epstein and Mandelson on the 6th of November 2016. The email is started by Epstein, 63 years old, you made it. Mandelson replies, just. I've decided to extend my life by spending more of it in the US. Later in the chain, Donald in White House, will he get there? Mandelson writes. And then what appears to be a separate thought, yes, without Andrew, it would not have gone nuclear. It's not clear quite what Mandelson is referring to. Mandelson then goes on to reference his relationship with his own husband. Epstein writes to Mandelson, I was right in your staying with Ronaldo. Ronaldo is Mandelson's husband. Mandelson replies, did you advise me to stay with R? Such a handful, but loyal and never embarrassing. And so it's clear that privately, Epstein and Mandelson are discussing Mandelson's husband, and this is an indication of just how close they were as recently as 2016. Now, I've messaged Lord Mandelson asking for comment. He's seen the message, but has not responded. Mandelson spoke to Sky in May this year, expressing regret.
My knowledge of him is something that I regret. I wish I'd never met him in the first place.
So, there are thousands, tens of thousands of documents in the release. There are also hundreds, if not thousands, more names referenced. A mind-boggling range of presidents, prime ministers, princes, high-powered financiers, and powerful business people. Of course, association does not make them guilty of anything. These emails were initially released by the Democrats here in the United States on the House committee. The committee then released all 20,000 documents. It is a political battle ongoing, and the walls appear to be closing in on Donald Trump's White House.